Hi beauties, it's Jean Persani with Beauty and the Stamper, and I am coming with you to do a monthly global video collab. There's people from around the globe, Stampin demonstrators like me from different countries, who are going to be doing some videos for you today. So today we are going to focus on some spring, so I chose this Welcome Easter, and I'm going to be using this little chick here, these flowers and some leaves, and we're going to do a layered technique. It's a very easy technique, but sometimes people find it just amazing. So let me go ahead and show you. It is this technique here. So this is the little card we're going to make. And what you're going to do is you are going to start out with just an 8.5 by 11, and you're going to cut that right in half, and then you're going to score it in half. You can do it this way, where you can fold like this, or you can do it the long way, where you could fold like this. So I'm going to show you two different folds, same exact card. Let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to take that. I am going to grab out my little gang of tools here. Again, if you want to see anything else I may have done, you can always check out my online store. You can go to beautyandthestamper.com, or you can go to jeanpersani.stampinup.net, whatever you choose. But if you are here from one of the other presenters today, feel free to let me know in the comments below. And welcome, subscribe and become a beauty. You'll be able to see all kinds of tips and then buy from the Global Demonstrator from your country. So I'm going to use some Memento ink to start us off. Now what we're going to need is that page folded in half again, and regardless of what way you have it cut, it's going to end up at 4.25 by 5.5. So let's go ahead. Then we're going to take a piece of Daffodil Delight, and that's going to be cut. Let me just double check. It's going to be 3.5 by 4.75. And then we're going to take another small piece of Whisper White. Now the Whisper White here is the Whisper White Thick, because I like to use the thick as a base, but they match very nicely. This is just a regular Whisper White, not as thick. And this piece is cut 1/4 less than this, so that makes it, what are we going to be at? Well, shoot, this is 3.25 by 4.5. Let me just double check to make sure. Well, there we go. So that means I gave you the wrong dimension on the first one. This must be 3.5. And so it's 4.75. Yep, by 3.5. There we go. And so it'll end up like that, just like in this first card. So let me show you how I end up getting all this to match up nicely with that layered technique. First things first, I'm going to set the Daffodil Delight piece to the side, and we are going to stamp this middle piece here. And I'm going to take my little chickie there, and we're going to get some Memento ink, and that's going to be my focal point. So we're going to stamp him right here. So once I get him done, now I know where else we're going to be. So let me clean this up, because I need to get out some other ink. And I normally use my chamois, but I just got back from traveling, so he is packed away. So I'm just going to use a little baby wipe and get that all cleaned off there. And then once it's cleaned off, I'm going to take this sheet again, and we are going to take our snail adhesive, and we're going to put just a little itty bitty bit as little as you can right in the center there. And then we're going to center this up with a nice border all the way around, so it's a 1/2 inch. There we go. And then just stick that down so that it doesn't move around. Now we're going to take that little chickie again, and we're going to take our Daffodil Delight. And what we're going to do is we are going to just stamp right over. And we're going to have him going off the page a little bit if we want. A little bit like this. Another little bit like hanging out like that. Same here, going this way maybe. Another one coming up the page. A little bit like that. And how about another here? And I think we're good. Let's give him a little bit right about there. And that's it. So we've got that part done. And now we're done with our Daffodil Delight. You don't have to worry if you put too much or too little. It will be fine. It's going to turn out great regardless. Now, the next one, we're going to just start with our bigger one. And then we're going to go, and I'm going to grab some Rococo Rose. And we're going to grab the flowers from that same set. And what I love is that it all goes together because it's all from the same set. So we're going to take these little flowers and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to put them around and about. Just like this. Get them here and there and everywhere. And again, you want some of them to go off of the page. Like that. And if you have little tiny corners, you can always make one coming off of that corner there. Maybe one sticking over here. And we'll do another one. Just coming off of there. And I think, let's do one right here. And then one more right there. So we're good there. Now we're going to take our next color, which is going to be Pear Pizzazz. And again, we're going to take our little leaves and just start filling them in here. Anywhere that you have space, again, coming off of the page. Make sure you really overlap those because they are just so cute. And really get them into those little spaces. I don't want to get my head in your way. But I also want to be able to see here. And just really fill that in. Like that. I'm going to put one more little one right here. And how about another one just right there? And there we go. we want to make sure we're getting it everywhere. There we go. Super cute. And I'll set that off to the side. And let me grab just a little piece of Whisper White here. And we're going to grab another stamp set. I'm going to clean off this little guy. Well, actually that's not the one I'm going to clean off. This little guy because I need to make sure that I have a block that'll fit my saying. And my saying that I want is to say Happy Easter. So I'm going to grab out that Happy Easter. I'm going to put this lengthwise or diagonal so that I could see really well. And in that same pear pizzazz, we're going to stamp this Happy Easter. There we go. Perfect. Alrighty, now we could start putting all of this together. You can take this part off, and actually while I have that, do you see that nice little frame we've got there? You could actually just use that as a frame and put your stamps right in there. But I wanted to do that layering technique, so I'm going to kind of rub this off. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I don't want it to stick to that paper. But I'm going to grab my Stampin' blends in, again, Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to grab some Mango Melody as well. And with the Mango Melody, we're just going to color in these little guys here. And the same with the little nose here. A little beak. And his feet. And that's going to give it just a slight different color. And the next one we're going to do is I'm going to take the light Daffodil Delight and kind of just go all around. And same with the feathers here. Go all the way around. I am going to leave a little bit of white right kind of in the belly area. Not too much. But now that I've done that, now I'm going to go over with the darker Daffodil Delight, kind of just in some strokes here. And then around the edges again, just in little strokes. It doesn't have to be too big. It doesn't even have to be too crazy. And maybe a little bit up here by the face. And then down here by underneath his chin. Just like that. Maybe a little bit over here by his cute little cheeks. There we go. Now, I'm going to go back to the Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to use the wider edge because we've got a wide edge and a thinner edge. And I'm going to blend that in. And I'm going to leave some of that area, again, by his face. I don't need to completely go over the whole thing again. And it's just going to smooth everything out, giving it some nice dimension. Different color. And again, I'm going to do the same here. And you'll see that this really starts to move that ink around and blend in really well. And we've got him done. It's super cute. And I don't want his tummy area to be too big. There we go, just a little bit. There we go. Now our blends are all done, and I am not a big time know what I do with the blends. So some people are super at it. I am not. But let's go ahead and finish off this card. I'm going to take my snail adhesive and adhere that to this Daffodil Delight sheet. Again, making sure that this is all the same. And then when I put it down, if it was cut right, it should have a great little border, which it does there. And then we're going to take this part and again, with our snail adhesive, you can also use some Tombow or whatever kind of adhesive you like. This just is my favorite. And we're going to really line this up, so make sure all these little lines are lined up here. Before you put it down. Let's see. Looks like I did a little bit off here. And that's what you want to make sure it's not off by too much. We'll get this. There we go. There we go. And now we've got that great card there. And all we have left to do is put in our Happy Easter. And I'm going to grab my mini trimmer here, and we're going to trim this little guy down. And what I love about this little trimmer is you could lift this part and it comes off without busting it all to pieces. I only want to trim a little piece, so I could probably use my larger trimmer, but I really wanted to show you guys. In fact, I'm not gonna, I've taken it out before, but I'm not going to. Oh, there you go. The power of television. I could edit it out, but if you know me, I do not edit my stuff because I want to show you guys that mistakes do happen. But I love this little mini trimmer. I actually think this side is done up pretty good. But you can get such a great little cut. So you see that little cut right there. Very nice. All right, I'm going to get out my trusty tools again to get my, well, I'll just get out these little guys. And I am going to put this right about there. Actually, I'm going to get, I wish I had my paper snips in my tools. I don't know where those went. But I'm just going to make a nice little flag here. Same here. There we go. And then with a little piece of Daffodil Delight, I'm going to look for a little scrap here. I actually have this piece, and I think it might just go perfectly. Look at that. I don't even need to trim it much. All right. Let's stick that right back in. It goes in rather easily. I'm going to take this, put it right on here. And then I can take my scissors and go right back and again have a nice border. It measures up real nice there. All right. Okay, final thing we need to do is just add some adhesive. I'm going to pop this up just a little bit. Take a little bit of my always use all the edges. Make sure you use all the edges. Just some little Stampin' dimensionals. And then we're going to take this and just put it right across here. Oh my goodness, look at how cute that card came out. And so this card is going to open this way, where this card opened up this way. So, all right, I hope you like this. I will put the links down below in the description to all of the other participants on this global hop. And again, this is Jean with Beauty and the Stamper. And I thank you so much. If you need to buy any supplies, then you're in the United States, please feel free, go to my shop and purchase any of the supplies seen in any of these videos. All right, beauties, have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!